Oh, welcome back, everybody. My apologies, but today we are going to be filming in my backyard because fix my chair a little bit if I can. I jacked up my knee. Excuse me. So, yeah, I was walking around the pond, doing a little fishing, and the grass was high, and there's a hole. Put my foot right in it. Went down. So that was a few days ago, but it's still pretty stiff. So I'm backing off from driving right now, just, you know, for my safety and everybody else around me. But in the meantime, we're going to self-medicate. It is a little sore. Ooh. Cheers, folks. Oh yeah. But everybody, appreciate y'all coming along. So I thought this would be a fun thing to do. First and foremost, I'm going to teach you how to keep your campsite. Some people may have run into this, but here in Indiana, the reservationless campsites, there's, basically, let me show you. You come up to a little kiosk type thing, and I keep spares of these in my car. And you get a little registration form. You fill it out, both of them, tear one end off, and you keep that with you. It acts kind of as a receipt because they've got matching numbers. That way you can, if the DNR guy comes by, you can show him this, and he can match it to the money they got. It's basically just a big giant metal tube. You just, in a slot, you stick it in there and go. But what a lot of people don't know, and it may be different for states, but in Indiana, just because you pay for a reservationless site doesn't mean you may get to keep it. Some of their stipulations are that if you're not on your site, you have to have a tent on your site. Otherwise, it looks like an open site to anybody that comes. Well, let's say this is good for car campers, van campers, truck campers. You get to your site, you pay for it, and you think, oh my gosh, I forgot, I need a bag of ice, and you take off. And you come back, and now somebody's on your campsite. So, well, I've already paid for it. And I said, well, there was nothing here, so we get to, it's basically, who's ever on it at the time is going to get to keep it. Because DNR they actually put signs up at these little registration places that says you must have a tent or something on there showing that this is your site. If you just pay for it and drive away and come back, someone else taking it, you're out of luck. So one thing I do always take is a spare tent. Now this is a little cheap tent. I think it was like 25 bucks at Walmart. We've actually seen it in one of the other videos, the tent fail video. It's a little pop-up, but it fits right behind the seat of my truck. So on the odds that I've forgot something, have to go back and get it, I can do that. I can just throw this tent up. I can peg it down if I want to, or throw a cooler in it, just hold it down. And another thing we do, and I'll get to that in a minute, is where we attach these at the campsite. So, cheers. But I got a miscellaneous box of stuff. I was going to go over some tips and stuff that I've done in the past in videos. That these are tips. They're uncommon tips, but they're good tips. So first of all, let's start out with the bane of my existence, the picnic table. So hold on a second, and we'll be right back. Cheers. So this is my grass on there, my faux picnic table. Now, if you noticed in a lot of my videos, I bring a couple of towels. Towels are good for multiple reasons. One, that's where I set up on the picnic table and have my dinner. Another good use for a towel, and you should always bring one, wipe down the seats of the picnic table. Splinters. But if you have, just myself, I just have one person, so a towel works great. Pardon me. There we go. Oh, another thing you should always bring pocket knife of some sort. You never know. Boy, those things come in handier than you think. But here you go. Disposable tablecloth. Reason for these is it's a picnic table. Okay, you don't think much of it, but every critter out there in nature has been on top of that picnic table. and I'm sure more than one of them on an occasion has done their business. So just for sanitary reasons, you want to put a cloth down of some sort. So, but as a lot of you have experienced, I have as well, a wind issue. There we go. Be careful not to get into the tablecloth itself. But these are just a little over $1. I got this at Dollar General for like $1.30 something. And you can reuse them. I'm not going to open the entire thing up because we have a small picnic table. But as you can already see, well, maybe. Let's see if I can do this. All right. Pardon me a second. It's going to just make all our lives easier. Ha, now I have two. And now it doesn't want to cooperate. Come here, you. There we go. We got a nice little disposable tablecloth for your picnic table. Now, there are devices out there that you can put on the picnic seat. The wind's already starting to pick it up. But there's something that I carry to help keep the tablecloth down when I need to use one. It's inexpensive. Costs, I think, like 12 bucks. Show you. A little mini staple gun. Blow all you want, wind. It ain't going nowhere. So now we got a nice clean cover, and it's not going anywhere. And these are little tiny staples, and you're not hurting anything by tossing them in there. Oh, here we go. Got a whole mess of stuff down here. Little tiny guys. Pull one out here. If I can get a hold of them. See, they're not so big. But another reason, the primary reason I bring my staple gun, is at the end of the picnic table, pointing toward the site. I'm going to go ahead and roast this one. We filled out all our information. Oh, and bring a pin. A lot of times the people take the pins out of these things. You tear that off, put your money in there, seal her up, stick it in the bin. Got your name. I don't put my full name and address on. I put my full name on here, and they want your plate number and the date you arrived, number of nights. And I'll put my plate number on there, but I will not put my street address on there. Let's see. And then the end of the picnic table. Ta-da! Now I've tagged the picnic table. So I not only, if I leave, I've got a little tent, or what I'll do is I'll stick one of these right on the end of the picnic table, and I have a couple of other little, like, I guess those collapsible chairs. Open up a chair, throw a cooler out there, run to the store and back. Never had an issue, but this thing comes in handy. Okay. So now that's how we take care of our picnic table and our little disposable tablecloth. So I'm going to take a beer break, and we'll be right back. Cheers. Apologies for that. I forgot to mention, you can also pick up, these are like $1. These little thumbtacks. And you can pretty much do the same thing. Pull you a thumbtack or two out there. Take it and stick her in there. It'll help keep your tablecloth from blowing away. Another good thing these are for, especially if it's a windy day. A lot of people, when they camping, they take these guys. It's paper plates. And well, that was kind of bent, but the wind will catch it and tries to go everywhere. You can fix that one of two ways. Well, I'm on a knot. There we go, right in there. Ta-da! A couple down there, you don't have to worry about your plate. It's happened to me before on a windy day. You got a plate full of food and a good breeze comes along and it's just top of your plate over. Oh my goodness. Let's set these right there. See how the wind's acting up on us? And also, if you want to get crazy, there you go. It's going nowhere. Oh, cheers, folks. All right, now we're gonna stop here and I'm gonna get set up for the next little demonstration. You folks take care. Okay, guys, this is next. You haven't seen this guy too often much. Ooh, it's hot. It's warm out here. A lot of campers, they use Coleman stoves. They're awesome. They work great. They're inexpensive and they do the job. But what you will find, and as I'm still on my picnic table issue thing, most picnic tables aren't level. And this faux picnic table isn't level either. Now, there's a couple things you should bring. I highly suggest. One is a pocket level. Whee! Oh my goodness. Hold on a second, folks. I gotta take care of this mess. There we go. So we can see that, well, left to right, we're pretty close. This way, yeah, it's pretty close. But as you can see, we have an issue here. So I bring wooden shims. These are cheap. You can pick them up at most like Lowe's or Menards, most hardware stores. And what's nice is how they taper. So I can put it in there, just slide it in under the foot. Problem solved. Pretty much level that way, and we're a little off this way, but not enough to be concerned about. But if you want to be a perfectionist, you can put a couple more shims up there and raise that up about 1/8 of an inch, and you can level it out perfectly. But these two items are awesome. So that's how you level a camp stove. Yeah, let's keep on moving on. Let's see what's next. Cheers, folks. Oh, okay. Another helpful item to bring: a spare key. I always take a spare key with me, especially if you're going to be down by the lake, hiking, so on and so forth. Good chance you're in the woods. You drop your keys. Good chance you're not going to find them. So I take a spare key with me. I keep my primary keychain. I'll keep it in the truck, and I'll carry this one around with me. So if I lose this key, yeah, I've lost a key. It's horrible. It sucks. But if I lose my key ring, I've not only lost my truck keys, my house keys, keys I need for work, keys for all kinds of stuff. So just a good tip. Another good thing to take, some of these. These are little solar powered garden lights, and they're cheap. They cost less than $2, and they're solar powered, so you don't have to worry about batteries. But these things are great, and they have little sticker things on here, so you turn it upside down and poke it in the ground. These are great to have by near your tent, or let's say your campsite has an obstruction. Some campsites have a concrete barrier at one end, to just because this is obviously for after dark. But after you sit around a campfire for a couple hours and your eyes adjust to that, as soon as you get up from that campfire and you walk about 4 paces, it's dark. You can't see. So this helps for little hidden barriers that might be around the campground. You can get your foot caught in, or over by your tent door. It gives you points of reference while your eyes are adjusting to the dark. So these are great little things to have. Also, you've seen, I've used this many times, this little garden shovel. There's tons of great gear out there, folks, but I try to find things that are a little, I guess, price friendly and do the job. So this little hand shovel is great. And I use this for cleaning out the fire ring if needs be. Primarily, that's the only time I've ever had any kind of necessity for a shovel was to clean out the fire ring. So these work great, and they don't take up a whole lot of room. One more thing I want to show you, then we'll move on to something different. Oh, well, maybe more. For your campfire. Oh, easy there, buddy. It's a glass top. I try to find the lighters that don't have that little safety button thing on there, because those things are a pain in the butt. And 8 out of 10 times they don't want to work properly. So these I found work pretty well. And it's even got a little window in here so you can see, I don't know if you can see that or not. It tells you how much, actually how much fuel is left in there. It's, oh, look at that. And it's a fairly breezy day. So mark that down. Let's see, what else we can dig out of here? Oh, now these are leather gloves. I picked these up at Harbor Freight. They cost between $5 and $10. I picked them up beginning of camping season every year. I usually get a new pair every year, but this is for the fire management. So you slip these things on, it gives you a little bit of barrier so you can help adjust your fire if needs be. Now these are not fire retardant, it's just a good thick leather. But if you hold on to a hot log long enough, yeah, you're gonna feel it. So, but these are just to aid versus taking a big stick and try to push things around. These do come in handy, and it's somewhat of protection for your hands. What else we got? Let's see. Oh, yep, here it is. Oh my goodness, cat hair on it. This is my spare roll I keep in the house. Duct tape. Duct tape has so many uses and comes in a lot handier in a campsite than you might think. I use it primarily as a fire starter. As you've seen, I've started every campfire on the channel. I've used duct tape to start my fire. Depending on the wind, any fire starter is going to be a pain in the butt. I'm not saying this is the best type out there. There's plenty of ways to go. People use the lint and the egg cartons and all that stuff. That to me seems like, yeah, a little bit more work than I want to put into it versus tearing off a foot of this stuff, make a little bow out of it. I've shown you all my videos before how to do it, and light it up. And this is, I don't know if it says on here. Let's see. I was hoping it did, but I believe, forgive me if I'm wrong, and you can look it up, there's like at least 100 yards of this stuff on one roll. And I use approximately 1 foot per campfire. So it averages, you get 250 to 300 campfires out of one of these. And these are like, what, $6? So that's why I use it. It's cost friendly for me. Oh, cheers again, folks. All right, enough of these little doodads. So we're gonna clear off the table and be right back. Cheers, folks. Well, let's talk about that campfire a little bit. Wood management. Always bring more campfire wood than you think you need, because it burns a lot faster. It burns up fast. Let's put it that way. Get a little tongue-tied. My apologies. But now you've got a good fire going. Remember, wood management. Bring more than you need. And I always bring my own box of tinder, I guess. Small branches and whatnot. I mean, I got a giant tree in my backyard, and I've got a bunch of branches laying over here to cut up as it is. Because you run the risk when you go camping, especially with a busy camping season, because, yeah, limbs and everything, they fall on the ground, but what if it's rained? They've been wet. What about all the other campers that tromp through there? There's been times where I've gone to 2 or 3 campsites and come back with a handful of sticks, and that was it. So I try to bring my own if you can. But bring a little bit more firewood you need. Now, cooking over the fire. Now, if you've got the hot dog spears and stuff like that, you're good to go. But most campfire rings come with that grate on top of them that you can cook on. I do not cook directly on that grate. A lot of people do. That's perfectly fine. But I have, on more than one instance, back early camping, is cook on top of that grate and then end up stomach issues. Kind of messed up the evening a little bit. So what I do is, if I'm going to cook something that I want to cook right over the fire, and I'm not using a foil pouch or a container of some sort, is I bring my own and I wrap it up for transport. Get in there, buddy. I want you blowing off. One of these. For me, this is the perfect size. They make bigger, but I got this out of an old portable grill. It had seen better days, but the grill portion was still good, so I just yanked that out of there and, you know, got rid of the rest. Because I've got several little portable grills. And this thing, you take this, you just lay it right on top of their grate and cook right on it. If you need to foil it up, it's easy to foil up. You ever tried to put foil on one of those big old grates? Yeah, it's a little cumbersome. Oh, and speaking of foil, always heavy duty aluminum foil. This is more designed for the barbecue grill outdoor cooking. And it's just a thicker gauge aluminum. That thin stuff, well, it'll tear real easy, and aluminum foil will burn if it gets hot enough. It will burn. I wouldn't say it will burst into flame by any means, but I mean, I've seen hot enough fires where it just disintegrates. So there's our cooking tip. Take one of these. These take up no room. And like I said, I have a little bag that for transport. I'm clumsy, but that's okay. I'll blame it on the medication. Cheers. One more thing I want to add. For tent campers, you know how much of a pain it is sometimes to find that zipper. Here you go. Here's your solution. A little miniature tie wrap that you can run through the eye of the little claspy thing, whatever it's called. Here, let me see if I can demonstrate. As you can see, your zipper, you have a little hole in it, and you run your zip tie through it, and now it's a little bit easier to find and operate inside the tent. So that's my one little last tip for today. And folks, I truly appreciate y'all coming along. I really enjoyed it, and I wanted to give you guys a video this week because, you know, barring my not watching where I'm walking, but I have a lot of fun putting these together. I truly do. And I appreciate everybody out there that comes along on my little adventures. I want to say a special thank you to everyone out there, especially to all my subscribers. You guys are great. And if you guys have little camping tips, share them with our group. Go ahead and throw a comment down there. I don't think I'm a person that believes that not everybody knows everything. So if you've got little tips to share with everybody, that's fantastic. Great. I appreciate it. So everybody out there, y'all take care. And as always, I'll see you soon.